Hello and welcome to week 2. For week 2, you're going to, just as an overview, you're going to want to move through the view section where you watch the week 2 video. You'll do your reading assignments, you'll move through those review handouts, and then finally you'll turn in your assignments. All of the assignments for this week are due on Sunday. All right, let's go to the reading assignments for this week. You are going to read through Modes of Persuasion. I want you to read all of the sections. Research Strategies, you'll also read all of the sections for that particular set. And then finally, Evaluating Sources, and you'll read all of the sections. You have your book linked, Argument and Critical Thinking, so you can click on that link to get to those sections. And you also have Prezi 2, 3, and 4 to go through some of the main ideas in each of those readings for this week. All right, let's look at that review section. You'll notice that I made a short video for you that it will help you find sources using the Macomb electronic databases. I encourage you to watch through this short video because not only does it help you with using the databases to find those scholarly articles, but it also shows you how to use the cite widget so that you don't have to figure out how to cite the source in MLA format 9th edition. That citation is given to you and you can copy and paste it, put it into your annotated bibliography, into your rhetorical analysis works cited page, and on to other assignments for the semester. So I would highly encourage you to do that. It's going to save you a lot of time. And if you've got questions once you've watched it, don't hesitate to reach out. All right, and additionally, I gave you a short slide deck that will walk you through how to use your Google Scholar link. You'll have noticed that when you turned in your topic journal last week that you received a Google Scholar link. I have found when I'm researching that sometimes it's easier for me to search for articles using Google Scholar. And some of those articles are nicely linked because they're open source, but some are not. When you get those articles that you think, oh, this is a fantastic title, and the blurb is something I'm definitely, thinking I need to read this article, it's related to my topic, you can pull the title of that article and put it into the Macomb database and search for your article that way. So this just kind of walks you through how to use it, but I'm hoping it's a useful tool for you as you begin your research process. All right, and then when we get to the annotated bibliography, I want you to remember you're going to do 2 of these this semester. The first one is due this week. You are going to find 2 articles about your topic. You want to summarize those articles. You also want to think about maybe including sections of that source or put specific quotes that are going to support your argument, at least what you think your argument is going to be at this point in the research process. You'll create a works cited page of, that is set up in MLA format 9th edition that shows us, what the 2 sources are. And they're, like I said, cited properly according to MLA format. But go back to that video, as I said before, and you can pull that citation right from the cite widget. Then it's going to be a 1-page double-spaced summary of the key points of the article, 1 per source. So you're going to have 2 pages of notes at least on these 2 sources. But I also want you to include what you think the article's purpose is, who the intended audience is for this article, and what the article's strongest rhetorical appeal is. So those will be due again on Sunday. This will be helpful when you get to the rhetorical analysis. The rhetorical analysis, you want to remember, you're going to select 1 article from your annotated bibliography, and you're going to explain how the writer makes his or her argument effectively. So do they use ethos, pathos, logos? Is the article well organized? Do they use supporting evidence? Is there a level of diction that they use that's powerful? So ultimately, you're not telling me what the article is about. You're telling me what strategies the author used to make the argument effective. You can also point out things that are ineffective, but you ultimately want to argue that the article was effective or ineffective because of what the which strategies the author used. So this is really about the author's craft, about the author's style. And I do have a sample for you. So when you get ready to write this out, please read through the sample. I think it will illuminate what this assignment is, and it will point out to you that this is not a summary of the content. It's an explanation of how this particular article was written. All right, so when you get to the due portion, you'll notice that for the annotated bibliography, number 1 and project number 1 draft, you're simply uploading your files, or you can share the link to your document. But if you do share links, whether they're in OneDrive or Google Drive, please make sure that you've set the share settings that anyone with the link can view so that I can access it. All right, and then for your discussion forum number 2, you are going to respond to the questions where you see discussion question after you've read the article. You've got an article by, 2 authors here. One is attached and one is linked, but I want you to read through these 2 articles and decide what, if any, are some of the positive aspects of racial profiling and what are the negative aspects? And then, do you believe that terrorism can be fought without intentional or unintentional racism? So you want to think about what these 2 authors say about that topic. Take a stand on that. Integrate, their viewpoints as you can by citing those sources as you make your initial post. Your initial post is going to answer these questions, and then you're going to respond in a thoughtful and detailed manner to 2 of your classmates' postings. All 3 of those are due on Sunday, and always our due date time is 11:59 p.m. And then the final assignment for this week is to engage in the peer review forum, the first one of the semester. This is for draft number 1. So you're going to click on reply, attach your draft to a forum post, then you'll locate and read one of your classmates' essays and respond with the answers to these questions. You can copy and paste these questions into a reply and make, position your answer right under the question. You can simply number your reply and answer the questions. You can pull this all into a Word document or some other kind of a document and upload your responses. But ultimately, I'm going to look for responses to these 11 questions. You only need to respond to one of your classmates, but I do ask that as you start to reply, you look for classmates who have not yet received a peer review, so that hopefully everyone will receive a peer review by the end of the weekend. All right, if you've got any questions as you begin to do your work this week, just let me know.